I want to talk about the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is not to make you angry. It's to help you. If you shoot video with your camera phone, this video is designed to help you understand what you're doing wrong. If you turn your phone vertically the same way you talk on the phone, you're making a huge mistake, and that's what this video is all about. It's to help you understand what you're doing wrong and how to correct it, despite what you think you're doing.
Here you go, Larry. You see what happens? You see what happens, Larry? This is what happens when you f*** a stranger in the ass, Larry. You see what happens, Larry? You see what happens when you f*** a stranger in the ass? This is what happens.
You fired that thing! Don't you dare shoot that thing! Don't you dare shoot that thing! Holster your weapon! Holster your weapon now, goddammit! Holster your weapon! Holster your weapon! Holster your weapon!
Okay, folks, you can't shoot video vertically in San Diego. Either turn them horizontally or turn them off now. Okay, so maybe I took some liberties with the audio here and added some extra audio, but you can see this is a perfect example of what this guy that's screaming at a cop with a pistol in his hand is missing because he turned his camera the wrong direction. Just like in this instance where I turned the camera the wrong way. So please pay attention for the next few minutes. This is very important. This is all you get. When you're recording video with vertical camera, this is all you get. Look at how much more you get with horizontal. This problem has been going on for several years. I have been complaining to deaf ears all that time. And here's the primary example of the ignorance that I am exposed to almost on a daily basis. This is not a bad video that I'm shooting right now, but we're going to see how bad it is. Are you shooting time lapse?
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you vertical? Why are you ever vertical for the rest of your life? Why are you ever vertical?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm going to shame you into turning your... I have been wanting to make this video for quite some time. It's a how-to video on making videos with a camera phone. And my biggest frustration with people that are making videos, and a lot of times I'm very interested in the videos that they're making, but the problem I have is it's so frustrating watching people make huge mistakes recording with their phones. Some of the cameras out there today have fantastic cameras on them. They don't really have optical zoom lenses. They have you know, small lenses that are fixed. They don't zoom. If you're zooming in, you're doing a digital zoom. So there's inherent problems with cameras, but the sensors on these cameras nowadays are fantastic. And the camera I'm going to use today to show you what I'm talking about is one of the cheapest cameras on the market. I don't even know if they make these anymore. This is probably 3 years old. It's an old Samsung J3. It was probably $250 when it was new. You can buy one of these, I think, for 50 bucks now. It's my burner phone, and but it's got an okay camera on it. It's got an okay sensor, and you can make videos with this camera. The frustration though that I have is that people don't follow some simple rules that I want to talk about today. The biggest one, the most consistent problem I see with people using camera phones is they shoot like this. They shoot vertically the same way they use the phone to talk on the phone. They're using these phones to shoot video, which is a terrible idea. And people don't understand because when they record, they're looking at their phone and it's the same picture vertically as it is horizontally, they think, but in reality, it almost never happens. Sometimes what they do is make the mistake of turning their phone on and then turning it sideways after they start recording. And if you do that, you're basically turning the world on its side, which screws up the video even worse because nobody wants to look at a video like this. So number one, I want the first rule that I would say using a camera phone: never ever 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 shoot video like this. Before you start recording, turn your phone 90 degrees. In the past, I have been sending people this wonderful video. It's a satirical video that was made 6, 7, 8 years ago, asking people to do the same thing. And that's typically what I do, is I send them this video. They don't understand, and I don't think they get it after they even watch the video.
I think that it's time to break it to you slowly, but there's something wrong with the way you're holding your phone, and I think you ought to know, I think you ought to know. If you please just turn your phone 90 degrees, there's so much more for you to see when you film horizontally. Can't you see it's not as hard as it may seem? If you don't, I'll break your knees.
They know people like me are frustrated, but they don't care. They don't know how big of a deal it is because they probably don't shoot that much video, and I understand that. And it's a comfort thing, and this is how you shoot video because this is how all your dumbass friends shoot videos. Well, all you and all your dumbass friends are shooting shitty videos. And I'm going to demonstrate that today, hopefully. So after I get this phone set up in a selfie stick, I'm going to be shooting the rest of this video on this phone to show you the difference in shooting one way versus shooting the other. But the first thing, I've already said, you know, shoot horizontally. Turn your phone 90 degrees. It's uncomfortable, but you'll figure it out. Eventually, you will figure out how to do this. The second thing is you need to put your camera in a selfie stick. Something like this. It fits in there nicely. And these are about 10 bucks. You can get them cheaper than that, but they're just really cheap. You just slip it in there like that. You can extend it way out, and it stabilizes your phone. And I'm going to show you these two things and what the difference is. But now I'm going to start recording on the phone, so you can see the differences. And this is the last of my camera. So now I am recording on this selfie stick. And I can flip it around, and now I'm recording me. I started this recording horizontally, so it's going to be recording in the correct manner now. But I'm going to show you the difference in number one. I'm going to show you recording with a selfie stick and the difference of recording with the selfie stick. And I can extend this thing way out there and get it very stable. The longer the stick, the more stable. And I'm recording horizontally, and I'm recording with the selfie stick extended way the hell out. So it's going to be a smoother, it's going to be more stable. So I'm stabilizing with the selfie stick, number one. I'm getting it out of my hands. And I learned this trick a long time ago, back when I was recording on tape. Getting the camera out of your hands on a device with the axis is a longer axis, stabilizes the video. This is back before they had any kind of image stabilization. I learned this trick. Steady cams, you know, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 rigs are basically use the same idea. They use gyros too, but you know, they're very expensive. But basically, it's taking the axis off of your camera. So now I'm going to show you the difference Now I'm gonna selfie just like everybody else does, and I'm gonna hold it like everybody else does, just kind of like a phone, like I'm talking on the phone, and you can see how jiggly it is, number one. Number two, this is what, most of the time, this is what bothers the piss out of me. They're talking and walking and talking on the phone, or they're sitting in their kitchen, or they're, you know, taking a crap. Whatever you're doing, you're moving around, you're moving with your phone, and half the time your face is cut off, or whatever you're pointing at. You're watching the Little League play, and you're doing this, and the camera's bumping all over the place. Well, let me solve that one problem. Let's say you don't want to buy a selfie stick. You don't want to invest in that hugely expensive $10 selfie stick. Let's just say you don't want to carry it around with you, and that's a lot more legitimate. You don't want to carry around this bulky thing. You always got your phone on you. You never know when you're gonna. That's legit. I understand that part of it. But let's say you just do the one thing that's easy. You turn your phone 90 degrees. And let me show you what happens if you start recording like I have already in a vertical position, and you go, oh, let me do what Don says. And you turn the phone. Let me show you what happens when you're walking along with your shaky camera that's handheld, and we're gonna see how much stuff behind us. Number one, I'm cutting off my face. I can only see my ear now, but not just that. I can't really see what's behind me in the background. So we're gonna say, let's start all over, and let's start recording from horizontal, the uncomfortable horizontal position, and see what happens now. Now you can see it's a much wider picture. I don't have to worry about cutting off my head. My head's not cut in half, and I can see the world is a bigger, brighter place now. And not just that, to cut off my head now, I pretty much have to go up and down, which is a lot harder to do. I would say if you're gonna selfie, get one of these. You can put this in your back pocket. You can carry it around with you, especially, I mean, most people, I would say, they're planning on shooting video. So in other words, it's really easy to carry your phone with you. You've always got your phone anyway, but it's also nice to have one of these. But as you can see now, and I want to go back and forth so you can see the difference here. You can see everything behind me. You can see my whole head, and it's not bouncing. It's not as bouncy if you hold it horizontally instead of vertically. So I'm going to go back to a vertical shot and show you the difference. Back in vertical, the whole frame's cut out. It may look good to you on your phone because you can't tell that there's anything missing. But if you're looking horizontally on your phone, or on a computer or a laptop, or forbid a widescreen TV, you're going to see what's missing. And it's not as obvious to people that watch videos on their phone, but I'm telling you that it makes a huge freaking difference. If you watch your phone vertically, you're still going to be able to see much bigger image watching it vertically. So what you don't know is what the world is missing, because you think that it doesn't make any difference, but it makes a huge difference. Let's try it again. Do you see what you're missing? Do you see what you're missing? Okay, so you have that dramatic difference in phone, but I'm walking now, so it's going to be a little bit shaky. So as I'm walking, I'm going to slip this daggum phone into the selfie stick, and now we're going to see the difference. Now it's just partially extended, but it makes a huge difference. Well, maybe not such a huge difference, but let's extend it out now. Not only is my whole head going to be in the screen now, but it's going to be much more stabilized. And if you're going to do selfies, I think a selfie stick is going to be, it's a must-have, I think. And not just that, there's some nice selfie sticks out there. They have some selfie sticks now that have gimbals in them. So in other words, they're much more stable. This is a $10 selfie stick, and look at the difference it's making. It's huge. It's night and day. Not just that, I could push the camera way the heck out there. They make some selfie sticks that are way out there. And not everybody wants to see your face up this close. So, you know, to be able to get that far out, you can see so much more around you too. And I thought this would be a good location. This is the Lowe's in Adamsville that's closed down. So number one, nobody's gonna be complaining about me being out here. Well, hopefully. But it gives you a little bit of scale too. And those two things are the most dramatic thing that you can do if you're shooting video on a camera phone. And if you just do those two things, you will see that it makes such a dramatic difference that it makes your video watchable to most people now. And I haven't done anything to stabilize this video. There's no electronic stabilization. There's no gimbal, but it makes the video watchable now. So you could take something that is moderately boring and non-interesting and allow me to watch it, because I'm not going to watch your video if your video is like this. If your video is like this and you don't give a crap about stabilizing your hands and you're walking all over the place and it's right up in your face and half your face is cut off and you're bitching about politics and you're bitching about your neighbor and bitching about your friend that disrespected you, and this is I'm not going to watch your video. If you're walking around or doing something, smoking a cigarette, half your face is cut off, your phone motion in your phone is so bad that it's making me nauseous. I don't care what kind of content you're putting on here. I don't care what you're talking about. It can't be that interesting. I'm not going to watch your crap. So all you have to do, number one, is turn your phone 90 degrees.
Every time we film anything, we're making choices. Just imagine if the director of photography for this masterpiece had decided to use a different lens, or had camera phones existed at this point, maybe he would have just pulled out his phone and shot vertically. Imagine what would have happened.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Now imagine once again that Francis Ford Coppola hires his dumbass adopted grandson, and he uses his cell phone to film this masterpiece once again. This is what it would look like. Instantly you can see that Sonny is completely cut out of the scene, and Johnny Fontaine is only visible for an instant, and even then it's just his shoulder and his ear and the side of his face. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. This is not how movies were meant to be made. And I'm not trying to say you're trying to make a movie every time you shoot, but if you're shooting vertically, you're doing essentially the same damn thing.
Minimum, at least turn your phone 90 degrees. It's uncomfortable, sure, but look at the difference it makes. This is still a shaky video, but I can see your whole face. Now, if you did that and added a selfie stick, my gosh, look what happens. It is a miracle. And all of a sudden, you've turned your crappy nonsense video into something that I can watch. Just imagine if I was standing in front of a beach or something amazing back here, or I'm on a cruise ship and there's whales jumping in the background back here. I'm much more likely to watch your video now. I can walk backwards and the video is stabilized. $50 camera at best. It's got a cracked screen. This is maybe the worst camera on the market. I've also got I've got one of the original smartphones. It's got an awful camera. I think it's not even HD. This at least is an HD camera. So I can't wait to see how this stuff turns out. But more tips maybe in the future if you guys get something out of this. But I'm always pushing people to record themselves because I think it's important. I think that there's a lot of people that have a story to tell, and with just a handful of techniques and some creativity, you can entertain people. You can spread information. You can share your thoughts with the world, but only if you put just a little bit of effort into your video. And I would say this is a minimum amount of effort. Do these two things, combined with making sure that you're not on the side of the interstate or in a wind tunnel or by a jet airplane, because nobody's going to be able to hear you. That's another pet peeve, but I still work with audio issues too. So, having good sound, especially in outdoors. It's windy out here today. I'm not really sure how this phone's going to pick up the wind noise, but I know I've had lots of problems in the past, and a lot of times I'm doing something so awesome that I can't go back and reshoot it because it was a one-time event. I'm in the middle of this awesome place and the wind's blowing. Just shot a video last week. The wind was blowing 15, 20 mile an hour the whole time we were out there. Luckily, I did my little camera modification, my little rat tail mod on my phone or my camera, and it made a huge difference. You would not be able to watch the video I shot the other day with a constant 15 mile an hour wind, and there were still some parts that were kind of unwatchable, and I edited those out, or at least most of them. But I hope you get something out of it, and for a $10 investment, you can get a selfie stick and try it and see the difference. Most people don't see the difference until they put the stuff side by side, which is why I'm doing this. I'm putting this stuff side by side so you can see the difference that it makes. Until you do it, you won't know how much of a difference it makes. It makes the difference between me watching your video and me not. It's that big of a difference. I want to hear what you've got to say. I want you to tell your story. I want you to share your ideas. But if this is what I get, I'm not interested. I'm sorry. Try again. If you have any questions or comments about filming with a selfie stick or your camera phone, feel free. I'm ripping into you guys. You guys feel free to rip into me too. I know my videos aren't perfect, but I try really hard. I try really hard to make interesting stuff that's watchable, but for several reasons. Number one, I want to be proud of my stuff. Number two, I want you guys to be able to watch it. If it's so painful to watch, you're not going to watch it, and my ideas are going to be, my stories are going to disappear. Nobody's going to watch them. There's not a lot of people that watch them anyway. So the more watchable it is, the more people that watch it, the more people that get something out of it. So let me know what you think.
That Corleone. This is what happens when you a stranger in the ass, Larry. This is what happens, Larry. You see what happens, Larry?